Yeah, welcome to Academy of Tone 232. New album Blug Granfelt and Engelien. I haven't done a new album for ages and now it's coming. This is actually the vinyl. And of course there is a CD and there's the chance to get everything on download and the new platforms. Yeah, the official release date is the 8th of November. So I'm talking about the whole thing. You can pre-order it and you can go on the Bluguitar web store tomorrow, I think. But you can also get it from Martin Engelien's site for the Germans and you can get it everywhere. And the physical stuff is already there and it will be shipped on November 8th, which is pretty soon. And after this, we will do a full tour with, I don't know, 15, 17. It is like 2 pages of gigs, this side and that side and that side. I will talk about this a little bit later. Yeah, first let me talk about the album. This is actually my second vinyl album in my whole entire life. This is the start of my career. Funny that the first ever record of myself was on vinyl. This is how old this is and how old I am. This goes back to the vinyl days. Pre-CD, pre-download, pre-internet, pre-everything. And this this vinyl actually also features Alex Beiroth. With a headline, only one guy could actually play. And this is Alex Beiroth. Here you can see him. Even at that age, he was a rock star. Yeah. So this was my first vinyl. And now, finally, decades later, there is a new vinyl. Yeah. And what is it? Ben Granfelt, Thomas Blug, Martin Engelien, and Tommy Fisher is the drummer on this album. Yeah, we have created how many tracks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 long tracks. Some of them are really long. It's a mixture of instrumental music, but a lot of vocal songs. Main singer is Ben. And I think it's a nice range of tunes, all kind of energies. I think what we just heard is, of course, a little bit more high energy. The title of that track, we actually called it Hello Cleveland. What I was using for the intro was just some very old backing track. I give you the feel of the CD, how this sounds in a proper mix. Go ahead and try this.
Hello, Cleveland.
So by the way, this was Ben's first solo. On the intro I played everything. I played all the solos because there was no Ben. But he will be there at the tour. The album is me and Ben using both our Stratocasters. Here I see a question in the chat. Hopefully the CD and the vinyls will be available on tour, because I would love to get it signed. Of course, physically it's already there. I have the boxes sitting in the office. I have my own CD, so I can actually learn my own songs again. Just heard Ben yesterday. He put on the CD himself and said, "Fuck, how many of the lyrics do I actually remember?" There's a lot to learn for us, because you have a long process. You write the songs, then you go into the studio, then you arrange it, you record them, you record bits and pieces, and in the end, somebody is mixing it, and it's like 3 years later, and then the album is finished. What the fuck do we know about what we have done 2.5 years ago? So this is something even we have to look again at, like what was all the details that we have done. It's a beautiful picture of the two Strats in the inner. Where is this? So here. I think this was in Münster, Germany, at Jovels. Jovels is a club by the bass player of Udo Lindenberg. What's his name? Nice guy, forgot about. Man, what's his name? If somebody knows, please write it in the comment. And then we found the two chairs matching our Stratocaster colors. I think it's my 61 and Ben's 63. The story with me and Ben goes even further back, because he kind of was hanging around the Frankfurt Musikmesse in the 90s. And then he checked me out big time, and he enjoyed what I was playing. And one day he asked me if I would guest on his album, which is this one, and the song that he wrote for the two of us, having two guitars in harmony, is called Melodic Relief. And so I played on that album, and after that, I think he invited me with the Thomas Blug band, with this kind of bunch. Here you can see them. Raoul Walton in the middle, black guy with a black shirt. Thijs van Leer, this way, on the organ, flute. Wolf Simon and Bernie. And we played in Finland at some festival that Ben got us the gig. So this was a nice thing that happened. And then I remember Helsinki, in the morning I woke up, and then Thijs, the organ player with the flute, he came up and said, there's this beautiful church on the hill, and there was like a market. And on this market, we were just walking around, looking at all the antiquities. I found a lamp for my living room, actually, that I bought in Finland. I had it a long time. I just changed it 3 years ago. So I had it at least for 10 years. And then Thijs went to the church, checked the reverb, and took his flute, and he played Bach in his black leather suit. I will never forget, because that's an original Thijs van Leer moment. Okay, so this was Ben inviting us to Finland. And then, of course, we met again, we stayed in contact. And one day, Martin Engelien, who is somebody who organizes his jam bands, and it's kind of a steady series of gigs. You join that, and you play at least 10 gigs in a row over 2 weeks, and you meet new people, and this is cool. And one day, I don't know how it actually came along, I was playing with Martin a lot, and then Ben was playing with Martin, and then we came up with the idea of 2 guitar players and then we played already in this kind of band. Different drummer, I don't remember. So we had a few gigs with that, and we could feel that there was something in the air with the two guitars. And of course, Ben had the experience from playing in Wishbone Ash, having a twin guitar, well, mindset. I'm not that experienced with the twin guitars, but yeah, Ben told me things how that works, and yeah, that's pretty nice. And then we decided, hey, maybe we should do an album. And then yeah, we came up with some ideas. We were bouncing ideas around, and we met in the studio. And for instance, like this first song, Ben came up with this kind of energy chords, Who style, and I think I came up with that thing, and then he had the harmonies worked out very fast, and then this was collaboration. I mean, he came up with the idea, and then we both worked it out, and then we recorded it, and this is what you hear now. And this is how it's when you work on songs. Let me play you a little bit more so you get a feel for what's going on. Track number 2. Blah blah blah. Yeah, and it's all these kind of little bits and pieces that come eventually, hopefully in sync on the tour. Yeah, and then we go for a lot of interludes. Let me explain what that is. You know, after the standard pop rock thing, there is different atmospheres, and this song is an example for that. Let me show you. So it's the old school, like 70s vibe that, you know, in modern pop music you don't find this interludes or this kind of long middle sections anymore. Let's see what else is on the CD. Okay, Hey, so this is the way. The So this is called Bondrix. It's a song that is Jimi Hendrix and James Bond. And there's again a very nice long interlude and a lot of battle solos going back and forth and stuff like that. I think I came up with the idea and had those expensive chords. Super easy to play, but sounding expensive, and you know, that kind of melody that is like reduced to the max. Okay, let's listen to another track. I don't know what's coming next. It's a little Pink Floyd stylish, and there is a killer middle part where I have a long solo. It's the atmosphere, and there was plenty of time. So, I mean, you know, we take our time, and this is the spirit of the 70s. And I did that little build up, and Ben takes over at the peak moment. So beautiful. And by the way, I was using the Rotosphere Leslie simulator on that track, Rotosphere, and of course my beloved Replex. It's all over the place, and the amp one. Exactly this amp. I was sitting here and I recorded that solo with this particular amp in this particular situation. I'm simply was using the studio here to record the stuff. Anyway, so hey guys, there is so much more. Maybe I show you a little bit. I don't know what's next here. What's coming next? Surprise, surprise. This was the only cover that we did, a mixture or blend of a couple of classics. We heard Sunshine of Your Cocaine, whatever that means. And there's a beautiful ballad, and there's lots more. Yeah, so what I think, if you are into guitar music, if you like my stuff, it's worth a listen. And yeah, you can pre-order it and you can listen. 8th of November, it's physically out, and then everybody can get it. There is a little interview that I have done yesterday with Martin, the bass player in the band and the man behind the scenes with the studio and also booking the tour. Let's watch that little video. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, Martin Engelien, straight from the studio A1 Studios in Krefeld, Germany, right?
Go Music Studios, Krefeld, Germany is right.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Well, we worked on this album for quite a while. The basic tracks have been recorded at this very studio where you are right now.
In here, yes.
Yeah, and we spent some time with the whole band, you know, jamming together, and the basic tracks with Tommy Fisher on drums, you playing the bass, myself and Ben doing the guitars. Yeah,
yes, I remember it very clearful.
Clearful, yeah, you know. So, how do you feel about this album? I mean, you are a producer, you produce a lot of albums, and what does this tell you?
This is amazing. It's very amazing album we did, especially with you both on guitars, with Ben on guitar and you on guitar. And this is really, really, really incredible great. I mean, you both did a great, great job in performing this harmony guitar style, which is not very, I want to say, not very common in these days. Normally you have one guitar player, or you have two guitar players playing chords or whatever. Or like Peter Maffay, you have 5 guitar players which are not really in the PA system. And only one is playing one solo or so. But this really reminds me an old days, but a very modern attitude. I mean, Tommy on drums, he played his ass off, and that is really, really an amazing drum work. And together we built in really good stuff with harmonies, melodies, very good lyrics, and good vocal tracks and good instrumental tracks. And this is a great melange, a great mixture of modern style electric guitar in a very, very, let me say, influenced 60s, 70s background style, but modern.
So this is the guitar album of the year and the music album of the year too, because you can actually listen to it. It is guitars, but it's also great songs, and that's the good thing about it. This is an album that has a lot of different spices, and it has a lot of also great atmospheres. We have moments on this album which I love a lot, which are space, and some of them are just power. So we have, of course, kind of all the different vibes, and usually you don't get that anymore. You get maybe one side or focus on another side, but I think we managed to get such a wide spectrum, but still under one band without being, this doesn't belong to the band. It's one band sound. So for me, I'm also proud of this piece of work that we put together, which is so great. And I mean, there's a story how the whole thing came along, with me and Ben meeting and me knowing you and touring with you with the Go Music for years. For the guys who don't know Martin, Martin is to me like the guy that brings together the best musicians of the world in Germany. Yeah, this is actually true. And Martin has a fantastic network, and his concert series is usually like 10 concerts in a row, and
every month.
We do it every month. Yeah. And this is it created a lot of friendships within the bands, and even some people started collaborations, and because of you, because you kind of brought people together. And me and Ben, we knew each other from even before, but then we both joined your Go Music, and that was a special moment. Yeah. And this kind of was maybe the starting point for this album. I mean, I knew Ben before, and I guested on one of his albums, but
and Ben was also a guest on Go Music before.
Yeah.
But actually, normally I don't have two guitar players in this project. Because of the fighting. And normally I always have four guys in the band.
Yeah.
So that means there is a drummer and me on bass. So there's space for two more. And sometimes there's only one singing guy. So that the fourth instrument, the fourth people, which is in the band, is of course a guitar player, not a keyboard player. Keyboard player is only coming when there is a guitar player inside, maybe a singing guitar player, or I have a singing keyboard player, then I have a guitar. But normally I don't have two guitars. And this was on request of, I think Ben and you both were coming up with the idea, what about having two guitar players in a Go Music? And then I said, why not? Ben is a singer. And can sing, and so we don't have a keyboard player or saxophone player, we have another guitarist, and that is where it started then.
And on the tour we could already feel the energy that we could both create in playing together, with all the elements of being the brothers in harmony, but sometimes the brothers in fight, because guitar players have that. But we both know what we know as a guitar player. So I think we are old enough for the ego thing is gone. But we still go on stage and show our egos and present the room for, hey, this is Ben, here, go ahead. And then he says what he's got to say, which is beautiful, and then I do my speech on the
Yeah,
guitar.
and I think that is very important, with respect
Yeah,
for the other one, you know. So everybody in this band has
respects.
respect, and respect for all what the other is doing, also for the drummer and for what you present me as a bass player, and for me, for you both guitar players. There is really a respectful behavior, and also not only on stage but during traveling and during the day, which is nearly more important than on stage. On stage, okay, you can do it, you can put a project together and can have daily fights or whatever, but for the night it's okay, and you take the money and then you leave also. But for us now, it's
Yeah,
going on for a longer period,
yeah,
and the experience for years says that when musician can stand the day together
yeah,
for a month, they can also stay on stage together for 4 hours.
yeah, yeah. So we kind of stood this kind of test um, a couple of times already. So that's a good sign for this band. And yeah, we have a full tour planned coming up. Martin is one of the driving forces behind organizing and booking. I think we throw together a few venues that Ben knows, that I know, and I think the main part comes from your side. Um, so looking at the tour schedule, I see some places where we have been before. But there are places I've never been to, like Bad Bevensen.
Bad Bevensen, yes, it's in the
Have you
north of
been?
Germany.
Yeah.
And no, this actually is coming from Ben. Ben,
Ah,
it's called Vacuum, this place, Bad Bevensen. And also, this will be for me a new venue, a new
menu.
experience. And but they are really nice guys. I have the contact because I made all
Yeah,
the contracts and all the
yeah,
speeches before,
yeah,
for hotels and for booking and for technical things, and these are nice guys, and they have lots of concerts running in there, and
yeah,
I'm curious for that. This is a brand new experience also for
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Okay, the vacuum will draw the people in.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Okay, I mean, I know the place is Zülpich, which is the live Proberaum where I played a lot. This is kind of I have a history there. It's also a nice venue. Falco's Butze is close to where
The
you
studio
are.
here, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a
Mhm.
nice starting point. And then what else is important to mention? I don't know. It's
I mean,
15 dates.
important to mention is that we will do 17 concerts within 18 days. So we only have one off day, one free day in this tour, saving a little bit the voice of the singer. I mean, we can play
Yeah,
for hours and months. I'm
yeah,
used from
yeah,
my past that some tours really last for 3, 4, 5 months, and
yeah.
playing also nearly every day. But the singer needs a kind of
A
break.
break.
But
Yeah.
important is really that we will be abroad 18 days, and that we will do 17 concerts in this period.
Mm, yeah. I
And
will.
these are all only in Germany,
Yeah,
from north to south. But we are actually in plan for next year's tour in May, which
yeah,
also include venues in Switzerland and
mm,
venues in Austria. So we
yeah.
will spread out the word of Blug Granfelt and Engelien.
Yeah, yeah. So I will, of course, put all the tour dates below so you can actually see them. And of course, you can find them on our websites, on my website, on Martin Engelien's website. And there's a Facebook page of Blug Granfelt Engelien as well.
Mhm.
Any we should mention the CD is out and the vinyl is there. I don't have it here right now, but it's. Do you have a
The
vinyl?
vinyl is here.
Show me the vinyl. Okay. So
This
this
is
is
the
a
vinyl.
yeah.
This will be the vinyl in future.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vinyl I
Very.
can show you one more
Yeah.
time. So yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah. It looks
great.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, the vinyl is here, and in the release, official release everywhere is 8th of November, and from that it should be available in all shops, also internet shops from Amazon to JPC to wherever, also in foreign countries, from Germany, foreign countries in Europe and all over the world. You can order this record, and of course, also in these streamings and
Yeah.
in
Sure.
download
Yeah.
platforms.
Platforms. Yeah. Do you have a personal favorite on that album? Is there one song that is the Martin Engelien most liked track, or
All of them.
okay, well,
No,
this is
I have one. I have one favorite. This is Stand Up as One. This
okay.
is my favorite, and especially the CD version. Sorry, the CD. I mean the album version. On the
The long
CDs there are
one.
two versions. The long
Yeah.
version with a brilliant guitar solo from you and from all the building up from everybody
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
This is really kind of great, and especially I like Last Day in Summer. That is
Of summer. Yeah, the
Last Day of
ballad.
Summer. That
And
is
I'm
these both songs are really taking my heart away,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's really these both are my favorites to have a listen to,
Yeah.
and
It, the funny thing about Last Day of Summer, maybe you remember, I came to the last recording session and I thought we need a ballad. We have everything is great, but let's do a ballad. And I had this idea and I did the rough demo the night before I was leaving for the studio.
yeah,
And
I
this
remember.
yeah, so this was you know, the, the vibe was there, the melody was there, and I knew we have to do it, and I forced myself. I went to bed like fucking 2:30 in the morning just to have something that we can work on in the studio, because
Mm.
and I'm happy that it ended up on the album. I love all the tracks. That's nothing, but I think now that the it's complete. For me, it's now it tells a story from Hello Cleveland with high energy.
Mm.
Wake up, get your coffee, and Last Day of Summer is like shh. And then of course Ben's great songs like Stand Up as One is also having this atmospheric kind of thing, which I kind of enjoy listening even more sometimes. But this depends on the mood I'm in. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
So,
and I'm
okay.
looking forward to play all these stuff live,
I'm
which
looking forward to memorize all my guitar
yeah,
lines.
which will start from today's recording. We do the video
Yeah.
recording tomorrow
Yeah.
in 2 weeks. Can you imagine? Tomorrow in 2 weeks at
Yeah. Yeah.
around this time. We waiting for the people getting in the hall, and then we start. Oh
Yeah.
yes, I'm looking forward.
Yeah. Okay. This is of course it's a challenge, but hey, this is how we are. We like challenges, and we are old enough. We've done it before, and it will be great. And the people should come and see us because they see real musicians, and we will be playing our asses off, and we will have fun. And I think I'm looking forward for this tour as it's a special thing for me. I haven't done a real album with original music for a long time. And this is something special because it's new originals. I've done other things with Hendrix interpretation and things like that, but a pure album with you guys, all originals, that's something special. And yeah. Hey, Martin, I think if you have anything to add, say it now, or we see the rest on the tour.
On the tour, yes. No, there's nothing to mention, except I like to be on tour with you, Ben, and Tommy, which will not be on this tour. On this tour, we will have Dirk Brandt as
Yeah,
a
I mean,
drummer. Maybe we can mention that, but
yeah,
not because Tommy didn't want, but Tommy has another tour
yeah,
in that period, and
with
so
Miller
therefore,
Anderson,
yeah,
and and Miller is depending on Tommy, and so yeah. But hey, Dirk is such a great drummer.
yeah, of
He
course,
helped out in the past, and Dirk is a monster.
yes,
So and Tommy and Dirk already had communication, so every input that Tommy has, he was passing on to Dirk. So we are in good hands, drummer
yes, of
hands.
course, drummer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, Martin, thanks and see you
you're
soon.
welcome. Mhm.
Yeah.
See you
Good.
soon, and let's talk, and let's see. All the best for your visitors and
Yep.
for your shows, which are amazing, I think. And okay, goodbye. See you there.
See you
Bye
then.
bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, so in the chat I could see a question. Ollie P is asking, how were the guitars recorded? With amp 1 blue box or really old school? Well, I have all the options here, but what I actually used was amp 1 with this blue box. All the tracks that I was recording, I did record here, and I used my laptop over there, so I simply used my studio as it is. And in some of the songs, I used the Replex as a boost, and you hear it. You hear it on the record. You know, most people that know me know when I use my Replex echo, because that's the dramatic moment of spaciness. But actually, on the very first track, the intro song that I played, which is also the intro song of the record, I was using my pedalboard when we recorded the guide tracks. This is my good old amp 1 pedalboard, and I was not even using a speaker, because we just used the direct out from the blue box with no extra load, knowing that it's not, I would say, the 1000% possible best sound, but it ended up on the record because first, it sounds great, and second, the energy that I used, that I produced playing with Tommy the drummer, was actually so good that I could not replace it anymore. It's like when I try to overdub myself, I felt like I'm not in sync with the moment, because we as a band had such a great energy playing together, and that was it. So this was the guide track. The melody stuff I was overdubbing here, or maybe in the studio. I don't even remember anymore. But all the guitars on this album is amp 1. It's me and amp 1 Mercury, and it's bent on his amp 1 and blue box. For me, the choice is always the Stack 1970 on the blue box, and I turn the mic position to 11 o'clock. That's my tone, and this is a kind of a setting that I always use also for the recording, so I could kind of overdub again 2 days later, and it was still the same sound, because there's only one position to memorize and one setting here, and the amp is also always the same. I didn't change anything. That's always the case with me. So this is how we recorded the album, and we didn't use real tube amps. Why? Because this is actually as good, maybe even better. I could have done it if I had a feeling of this particular amp would have done a better job, but I have my voice with this amp 1 on the vintage channel. Sometimes I switch for another channel, but when you listen to the album, it's mainly the vintage channel and the boost. That's me with this particular Strat. I do have other guitars, I have more options, but I don't use them. That's my style. Okay, talking about amp 1s being used on tour, there's of course a lot more people. One of the guys I would love to mention is my dear friend Ali Neander, and I was guesting on his record. I have to mention that again, Boomer Bands, because there's some serious shredding of myself on the track that I recorded on Ali's album. He is currently on tour with Moses P. Moses Pelham, the Germans know that. These are the tour dates. It's only with Moses P. It's Frankfurt because he is from Frankfurt, like 2 days, 3 days, then Cologne, Dresden, Hamburg, and you can look that up. Here's the next side. And then he plays like a full week in Frankfurt. I think it's the Butch Cup Frankfurt every day. And besides that, Ali has his organ project and other things that he tours with. And this whole Moses P tour is also done with amp 1. Another band that is touring with amp 1s is Saga. Ian Crichton of Saga always plays amp 1, and you can see sometimes there's a Marshall or another amp on stage, but what he uses is the amp 1 that sits on top of it. This is where the cables are plugged in. Let me show you. You can see this even on this live DVD. Okay, this is a very small picture, but if you know, you know. Let me show you. So maybe the camera can show this. So this is the guitar amp in this corner. Wait a minute. And on top of the guitar amp here, on that corner, this is the amp 1. And this is being used. For the guys who don't believe, we have a video with Ian as an artist on the Bluguipedia, on the Bluguitar website, showing that. So Saga, doing another tour. It Never Ends tour. That's the Saga kind of thing. Yeah, again, lots of tour dates. And there is more to come, of course, internationally. There's a lot of big players currently on tour with amp 1 where people don't believe it. But before we come to that, I want to show you a sweet little interview of my dear friend Roni Lee, because we will do something in January at NAMM, the Rooftop Jam. Just watch that interview real quick.
So, hey, nice to meet you, Roni. Long time no see.
Well, we always meet up in weird places, don't we, Thomas?
Yeah, somewhere on this planet. Sometimes in the US, sometimes in Germany, and you'll never know. I heard you've been to Italy this year, or where have you been touring this year?
This year has been all US because I had some children get married, so I stayed home more this year. Last year, you and I met up in Germany and did all that, and then next year I'll be back to Italy, and this coming year Portugal. So we want to bring a friend of mine that owns a club in Las Vegas, because I played there a lot. In fact, I'll be there at the end of this year. We're putting like a sort of a little mini festival together. We're bringing Las Vegas to Portugal, so we're going to marry the two, and that'll a lot of fun. That's probably in the fall of next year. That takes a lot of planning, as you know. So,
Yeah, and I know you being a major figure in the planning of the pre-NAMM jams, like the rooftop jams.
the roof. This will be the 13th year I've hosted jams for NAMM, but this will be the 3rd year for the rooftop, which is a phenomenal place that we found in Anaheim. It overlooks all of Anaheim, the fireworks, and you've played there the last 2, and you'll be with us again. This year is a different format because it gets too confusing and too many people, and everybody wants to play, and I love that, but it's a lot to juggle. If you ever tried juggling kittens, it's a lot like that. And they scratch you sometimes, and they, and you never know where they're going to land, and fur is flying. So this year, what I'm going to do is create some little mini bands, and everybody will be signed a band, and they'll have a little bit of a length of time to play. And there'll be 6 or 7 little mini bands, and maybe they'll come up with fun names or stuff. They still don't know who they're playing with yet. I have you assigned to some fun people. I get to play. Okay. And it'll be a lot more organized, I think, and fun for the players and for the listeners. And we have some special guests that are going to be awesome too. Some new special guests. Of course, Larry will be playing it.
Okay, yeah.
Travis Larson, some, Doug Doppler. So just some great guitar players. All you guys are just so fun. And we'll be featuring the Blug amplifier, absolutely. You're one of the main powers behind that jam for sure. Your amps always sound great there, and it's a pleasure to have them on stage with us. Absolutely. And you know how to tweak them just right.
Yeah, that's my job. I do this as a job, not only as a hobby. I do it for both, hobby and job. Yeah.
Great when you can do you both at the same time. It's awesome. So yeah, that's happening at the end of January in Anaheim, California. January 22nd is our jam, and then the 3 days following, of course, is NAMM. So
NAMM. Are you having any plans for after NAMM? I remember that like 2 years ago, you played in San Diego, and I joined in. I couldn't do it this year. I
booked something right afterwards. Right now, we may stay in LA and do something in LA. Remember, I think you're actually planning something, or aren't you for the NAMM?
I'm currently I'm looking at the Sunday evening at the Venice West, but this is not official yet. Okay, yeah.
We'll talk. Okay. We'll do it in sync, because we want to make sure that we're doing.
We have all the good people. Yeah,
all the good people to keep them together. Yeah, it's a recovery after that weekend too. So but that's how we know that we have a sickness, because we just want to keep doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And talking about Larry Mitchell, he was here in Germany in this studio in my home, at my house and everything. Not too long ago. Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
He's in Australia right now. He's in Australia.
Yeah, he's traveling so much. I'm impressed. When he was here, then he was going. He was coming from Italy, going to Belgium, and then I gave him the hint. It's probably better to go to Paris first, because the connection from Saarbrücken to Paris is like the fast train, and you are also planning to do something with him.
Yes. Well, his birthday, his big 60 is coming up, and I guess we're allowed to talk about it. If it was my birthday, we would not be allowed to release numbers, but for Larry, he's fine with that. So it's his big birthday celebration in Alabama, where he lives, and he lives in Opeka. So he's doing an event on December 5th, more of an acoustic event that we're flying in for. And then the very next day, he's doing something in Montgomery, Alabama, with his electric band, and I'm playing with him that night. And of course, his full band, Charlie and Jeff, his bass player, are also coming in. So it's going to be a really fun weekend celebrating the birth of the great Larry Mitchell. And so I'm very excited to be able to go and join in for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. having a birthday celebration, which we're not discussing the year of, in November. If anyone's in Las Vegas area, we're doing. I host another. You know me, I like to host these things and bring these artists in because I'm just a big fan of sharing the stage with people and showing off people that I might find here and there, nooks and crannies. And this is mostly female vocalists that we are doing, and it's called the Rock Goddess event at Backstage Bar and Billiards on Fremont Street in Las Vegas, Nevada, November 14th. December 1st, I'm nominated for Best Rock Vocalist in Los Angeles, so I'll be at the
Yeah.
Rocks. Yes, and that's the South County Music Awards. Orange, I forget the name of the
Orange
awards.
County. Yeah.
Is it Orange County? No, I'm sorry. I wasn't quite ready for all the names of things. Please apologize for that. But it'll be on my social media, Roni Lee,
Yeah.
you know, I'll be posting
Sure.
it. And so we're actually performing with Sean McNabb and a bunch of great players will be there also, all the LA people. So I got an LA, I got a Las Vegas, I got a Montgomery, Alabama. It's like a flea hopping around, you know.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we also know our mutual friend Martin Engelien here in Germany, who organizes the Go Music things. And yeah, that's my next thing, a big tour with him and kind of our new band with Blug Granfelt and Engelien.
Oh my gosh, when does that? Now, when does that going on?
Well, this is kind of next week. This is like all the dates. And then this is my other band. So yeah, I'm kind of busy.
You're I'm surprised you had any time to jump on a Zoom call with me. It's nighttime for you. I just woke up. I want you to know that I did my hair for you at
Oh, thank you.
early in the morning.
I did my hair for you yesterday, and it's still flauschig. I don't know the English word. It's like I used some conditioner. That helps.
So I guess we're on the same page with our hair today. Yeah, I woke up and I thought, oh yeah, I got to get on a Zoom call. I guess I gotta put I don't know if you remember a cartoon called the Jetsons way back in the olden days, but
Yeah.
the wife would wake up and she would put a little sign, a little fake face on, and talk to her neighbors. It was Zoom in the 1960s, and I was like, I'm amazed at what they knew back then that was going to happen now. If they only knew that they were telling the future. So I put those, just a Roni Lee face poster put on in front of me, and then I wouldn't have to do my hair.
Yeah, absolutely cool. Hey, Roni, I think it's cool. We find all your tour dates on your social media,
Yes.
Roni Lee website and stuff.
My website, RoniLeeGroup.com. And then, of course, Instagram and Facebook. I always post everything. And everything should be listed there right now. Some things are being added right now. In the fall like this, there's not as much touring. I'm finishing an album. I'm flying up to Seattle in a week to put a bow on our newest release. So it kind of gets a little quieter because and weather, you know, it's a good time at the end of the year. And Larry Mitchell taught me this. He's like, he has certain times that he writes, certain times that he puts out his new music, certain times that he books. And we're all kind of like that. I think we get into habits. One of mine is I love hitting Europe in either the fall or the spring. And I've been there in the spring now for the last 5 years. And so this year I really want to do it in the fall, especially if I'm going to book more so in other countries besides Germany, you know, maybe hit Spain, Portugal, and a little bit more in Italy. So this season is more, I stay a little closer to home, stay around family, you know, the holidays are coming. But I, of course, have my different shows that I'm doing here between now and the end of the year. And then NAMM hits, and that goes crazy. And I'm so glad when you're coming out, because I always know that fun is to be had.
Yeah.
So posted on what you're doing as well. So
yeah. Hey, Roni, thanks so much. So check her out on the social media, and I'm looking forward to see you in person right before NAMM, as usual.
We'll make sure our hair looks good too.
Okay. Okay. Cheers, Roni.
Cheers and ciao. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas. Have a
Big
great day.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was Roni Lee. Before I forget, this is important. These are my tour dates. It's 17 dates with the new album and the band. Yeah, you can see all of that here. You can see it on the back of the page, which is Fürth, Rimsting, Dorsten, Hamm, Wetter, Zierenberg, Karls. Also, okay, and then there's more tour dates with my Rock Anarchy. So I'm busy touring, which is big fun. And there's another band who will never stop touring. It's, of course, Deep Purple. But the opening act for Deep Purple is Jefferson Starship. And last episode, we talked about the stereo rigs. And get what? Jude Gold from Jefferson Starship is using two F1s as a stereo rig with two Marshall cabinets to be loud, to compete with Deep Purple. Anyway, there's a little video with Jude Gold, and I will meet him and the Deep Purple guys tomorrow in Luxembourg and see what happens there. But this is a brief video clip I have with Jude when he was in Amsterdam. Check it out.
Hello, this is Mr. Jude
Hey,
Gold. Hey,
how are
today, how
you?
are you? Yeah,
Thomas,
I'm good. You are in
good to see
Amsterdam right
you.
now. Yeah?
Yes, I'm here. They're about to let people into the room here in
Ah,
Amsterdam
yep.
at the Ziggo Dome. They call it a dome, but it's really a giant, blocky, like square building.
Okay, the
I
dome.
don't know
Okay.
if you could see the seats, but yeah, in 10 minutes they will open it up and all the crowd
Yeah.
will come in.
So, can you
And
give us a quick run through the rig you are using on this tour? I mean, the tour is Jefferson Starship, and you are opening up for Deep Purple like every night here in Europe, right?
yes, absolutely. It's Deep Purple. It's our second time with them. We did it in 2022. You came to that.
Yeah.
The 2022. So 2 years later, they were nice enough to have us back. It's 11 cities, and they are such a good band. Like they've just
Yeah.
gotten they're peaking right now. They're as good as ever. And the solos and Don Airy on the keyboards and Simon McBride on guitar, it's incredible. And the set list and the new stuff, they just had a #1 hit song in England for their first time ever, I think.
Wow.
Their new album. So anyway, yeah, they're doing great there, and they're very nice to
Yeah.
have us. This is can you see the rig?
Yep, I can. So there's a tuner, and
Yeah.
then
Well, first of all, I have two Bluguitar
amp one.
amps. One's the Mercury edition.
Yep.
See, I put some silver Sharpie on it. ME,
Ah.
Mercury edition. And then that's on, and I have another one here.
Right.
So I'm doing stereo.
Yep.
Mostly for me in these kind of rooms. I mean, I don't necessarily need to be stereo, but I like it. It's fun, especially at other gigs that we do. When we do a long 2-hour set, I like to be able to do some different sounds.
Yeah.
And
Of course.
so I have one, each one powers each of these two cabinets.
Yeah. And these are Marshall stock what is the model? 1960 cabinets or
Yeah, they're
red.
1960s. No, I was using the vintage ones
Yeah.
for like 2 years or so, which I really like by myself for like certain gigs. But I realized that these ones just have more mid-range, These are more aggressive and they're louder. And
Yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, I just used one Marshall cabinet, but it's kind of fun to have a wider sound.
Well, actually, on big stages like that, it's fun. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a loud situation. Like if we get the monitors cranked up and the PA is very loud, and it's fun.
Yeah.
The lighting is kind of weird here on my face.
Well, yeah. You look from like the guy from the Blue Man Group,
Exactly. Especially if it's
very blue. Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Sup-
yeah.
hey, super cool. Jude, I think we can have a longer interview when I see you, when is it? Wednesday in Luxembourg. And then we go through all your whole story, the whole 9 yards, your podcasts, the guys that
Oh.
you know, and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be wonderful.
Yeah. So how
Okay,
many
we got
gigs have you?
securities here now. See, they're getting ready.
Yeah. So how many gigs have you been playing on this tour so far? Do you know? Do you remember?
Like 9.
9.
And we have 2 more after tonight, I think. So yeah, it's
Okay.
like 12. And look at this. Can you see Don Airey's 2 Leslies?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don is
Those things.
always the
Yeah,
perfectionist. Yeah,
he runs.
huge.
I love watching his big keyboard solo every night. I mean, wow, that guy is
Yeah.
that guy worth the price of admission alone. Just that keyboard solo, unbelievable. Here's
Sure.
Todd, guitar tech.
Hey, nice to meet you, Todd.
And
Nice
drum
meeting
tech.
you again.
Yes.
And keyboard tech and drink tech,
You have any questions for Todd?
towel tech.
I will do all the stuff when we meet in Luxembourg. Then we have more time.
Okay, cool.
All good for now, Jude. Hey,
All
it's
right.
been a big pleasure having you, and I see you in a couple of days. It's a 2 days or 48 hours.
48 hours.
Yeah.
No, you got to. Yeah, pretend that we're live right now. We're live. It's live.
Well, we are always live, Okay.
Here's-
Hey, have a good one. Yeah, this is your rig. Nice.
Anyway, okay. Thanks for ringing in.
Okay. Cheers,
Auf
mate.
Wiedersehen.
Auf
And
Wiedersehen.
gute Nacht.
Gute Nacht, Freunde.
Yeah. And here is our special guest for tonight, straight from Switzerland. We are totally international. We went to Amsterdam with Jude Gold and the Deep Purple guys, and now we are in Saarbrücken. And you came all the way with the train from Switzerland. Marcel Schläfli. Yeah. We met like 2 years ago in Wettingen
Genau.
at a festival. No, what was
Guitars and More
Guitar.
Ausstellung.
Genau. Exhibition. Yeah. Hey, to start, let's play a song of your band.
Of course.
Are you ready? What's the name of
Yes.
the band? It's
String Tension. Genau.
String Tension. Okay, and the song is called Time Runs. Let's see. 1.
You must believe
This was a quick jam, and I learned the song just before, but it's a cool song. Yeah, lots of energy, and yeah, it was fun. So when we met in Wettingen, was this the first time you saw an Amp 1, or did you know Bluguitar before that?
I know before that.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. And I think also first I was played drums.
You would play the drums.
I played drums. Schlagzeug.
Yeah.
Schlagzeug.
Yeah, Schlagzeug.
And then hello playing for me and bands, AC/DC cover bands.
Yeah.
And then it's come the time to change
For
the instrument.
For the guitar.
Yes.
Because guitar is way more exciting.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I found my beautiful Les Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And
What year is this Les Paul? Is this
this is 2017.
17. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But I have two of these, so when broken, I think I can change the other end.
Yeah. You are spare. I mean, I have this Strat, I have this Strat, I have too many Strats.
Yeah, that's right.
There's one and everywhere. I have a Stratocaster, yeah.
Yeah, and then Amp 1, I play my first gig in, I don't know, but it was a small club, and it was great to have this amp.
Mm-hmm.
And the stage was small, and this was easy to have this on stage. And
I mean, that's the thing, when you have a big stage,
voila,
you put a lot of things on the stage, but if you have a small stage, you are happy when everything is small, because then you still have some place to stand and to move for the music.
Yes, and that's why I use Amp 1. It's compact and easy to go with train. You have not so heavy package and something stuff, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the sound.
Super. So when you brought your pedalboard, I can see the M1 Mercury edition. I can see there's a one control.
Yes.
And you have switched it. Is this like your master volume or solo boost, or what is it?
For me, it's the solo booster, and I only this. I like the sound, and it's easy to use and changing when it's not a good sound, so you can tweak and I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
So this is, you're mainly on the classic channel? I mean, this is...
I only use classic. I'm compact, and I need some more, just like AC/DC sounds, and I'm happy, and for me it's a good thing. But the good old Marshall are great too, but it's heavy to
transport.
You know, that's right.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm using
the M1. What's going on the pedal as well? You have the Shure wireless,
okay,
and you are using wireless right now.
Yes,
okay,
that's right.
And then the wireless goes into the wah-wah.
Yes,
the
next, more a mini wah-wah.
Yeah, and you can extend these. I don't know how you get these out. Yeah, but
it's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. Here we can use this. Is this the way, or how?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here I got it. So now let's show you. Bam.
Voila.
Yeah, this is the wah. Mini micro pedal to mini pedal, and then the next in line is the tremolo.
That's right.
Yeah, and
this is go to Amp 1
input,
and this is for one control.
Yeah,
so that's
very simple. So let us hear the sound of the tremolo.
Of course.
Yeah, and now you still stay on the same channel. You don't even go to clean. You just roll down the volume.
Yes, here on the guitar. So. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the tremolo, and you still are in the classic channel. So what you're doing with your band, we heard a song that is out already. Is
Yes,
this?
it's on Spotify, YouTube, or whatever.
Okay.
And yes,
Yeah. So you have a female singer.
yes, that's right.
What's her name?
Janine.
Janine.
Janine, yeah.
Janine. Okay, this is the thing about the accents. Okay, if you are from Switzerland, everything is different. I mean, it's like white for the Germans. It's like Deutsch, but with a very strong.
Kuchikästli.
Yeah, okay. Kuchikästli. If you know what that means, it's I don't know what it means.
Or but we just have Aromat. You know, Aromat.
No, what's
It's ein
that?
Gewürz.
Ah, okay.
Genau.
So cool. And the next release that you have is a ballad, or what?
No, it's a rock song.
Ah, okay, another rock song.
Yes, another rock song called Fire.
Mm-hmm.
I think end of November come out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the EP, I think end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will see
What is the reaction and how to
Yes.
proceed for the future. And besides this band that only does original songs, you also play in AC/DC tribute cover bands still, or I mean, what is your AC/DC connection?
For me, AC/DC is this band I hear in the school.
Mm-hmm.
I was little, and now it's my here in my heart. And since then, I was in a tribute band. I make crew, roadie,
Mm-hmm.
and helping there who I can. And we have many pictures.
Ah, okay.
On
Maybe
there.
we can.
Whole lot of this is the name.
And this is like one of the oldest AC/DC cover bands.
Genau.
And they have a lot of Marshalls on stage, but they
Yes.
have amp 1 as backup.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fat Gus need this for a backup.
Mm-hmm.
When something goes out with his
Marshalls.
lovely Marshall as a licks.
Yeah.
And then it's a small compact.
Amp 1 and
Genau,
it
and
simply
that's
works.
that's I use my amp on towards main amp, and
Yeah.
that's right.
And talking about bands in Switzerland, I mean, there's, I don't know internationally if you have any idea about Switzerland bands. I mean, Gotthard is a band that I know. It's like, hard rock, classic hard rock,
That's right.
like
that's right.
80s
Yes.
style.
Yes, Gotthard is one of the first bands I hear.
Mm-hmm.
And the guitarist Leo Leoni,
Mm-hmm.
it's a really great guy, and I met him a couple of shows.
Yeah.
So and he's singing my guitar on my backup one
Right.
as well. And Gotthard is one band. Then we have Crocus.
Crocus, yeah.
Crocus Fernando von Arp
Yeah.
is another great player.
Mm-hmm.
Crocus is like AC/DC
Mm-hmm.
from
Yeah.
Switzerland.
Yeah, sure.
And then we have Chakra from the Emmental.
Mhm.
Emmental is in Canton Bern.
Of course, it's famous for the cheese. Everybody
Yes,
knows
Swiss cheese.
Emmentaler cheese. I mean, it is what. I mean, there's a lot of things from Switzerland: chocolate, cheese, and
Good music.
what is the secret? How do you get the holes in the cheese? This is a German question. I mean, if you have a cheese, I know it. But
I don't know.
it is a Swiss secret. Somebody is drilling holes in the cheese in
It's
Switzerland.
a secret, and
Yeah.
it still
It should
goes on as a
yeah,
secret.
yeah, it
So,
shall stay a secret. I have to add another band. It's called Yellow, which is a band that is not so guitar, but they have been big when I was like in my 20s, and they have done a lot of interesting, bizarre music, pop music, with a lot of synthesizer things and arty-farty. But I loved it. And they had an album, there was some guitar on it, and I remember the name of the guitar player. I've never met the guy, Nico Hablas. If he's still around, I remember your name and I remember your telephone number. No, but from those days, my memory has names and telephone numbers. It's weird. I can't memorize anything these days, but these were the days where I still learned. So this is quite interesting. So when we met at this event in Wettingen, I think Bluguitar was still with the Swiss distributor, but they unfortunately quit because the whole world is changing and distribution is changing. And for those from Switzerland, we are now selling direct to Switzerland, which is a tough job because Switzerland is not in the EU, which we are close, we are neighbors, we can drive easily, we speak the same language, we have slightly different accents, but this is all nice. But when it comes to tax kind of things, it's like it is not the EU, it's a different country. And for us at Bluguitar, this is a good example how we can practice to go international. So we still have the same language. It's not like we talk Spanish now, you know, or Italian. And we can fix things. And so this is why we have Switzerland on our mind to improve the connection, which means I should go to Swiss events maybe next year. We have to find out if there's another Wettingen or guitar event.
I hope. Yeah.
I hope so too. So if you guys watch this from Switzerland, if there's an event, you know, there's an email or just write it in the comment. I read it, and then we can work something out because it's a beautiful country. They have the good cheese. Somebody's drilling the holes. And
beers too.
Beer, yeah, we have it over in the fridge. Unfortunately, we didn't bring it for now, but this is for after the show. After show beer. Somebody knows how it really works. Mr. Schärfentiefe is giving the.
The Marcel Huber, the Guitar Fest is another.
Ausstellung in Burgedorf.
Genau, you know it. So and
I heard about it. Yeah. Nice. There's a scientific explanation of the cheese holes, which is quite a thing. But maybe you can specify it a bit more. What kind of bacteria it is? Are they coming from this guitar? Can you see the living? Should you put a cheese here and you wait for half a year, and then you have Swiss cheese. This kind of bacteria is giving you a very, very, very special taste. That's all my secret. Okay. The Bluguitar cheese. Yeah, so when it comes to Switzerland, I think I will have it more on my mind for the future. And I'm looking forward for events that we could do there. So at the end of this show, I have one more interview that I wanted to show you with another great player, totally different style. And this is something that I like about the Amp-1. It connects me with people from all over the world. I had last night, I was talking to a guy from Nashville for 2 hours, and he was working with Dan Huff, the producer, and he was so happy because he said, you made my life so much easier. It's like I don't have to carry around the big heavy amps. Same story internationally, and it sounds like my book now. And he was actually fooling the producer to see if he notices it, and then Huff is a killer player. So that's one guy. But I have done a nice interview with somebody that I respect so much for his blues playing, because I mean, you also have great blues bands in Switzerland. But there's this one guy that always knocks me out when I hear him playing the blues on the amp1. I'm just looking where's that Fender Super Reverb, where's that Blackface amp, and it's like it's not there. It's the amp1, and he has that tone and the phrasing and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a nice guy from the area where Bonamassa is coming from. So he has a lot of stories about that, and his name is Tommy Z. But before we do that, where are my tour dates again? I read them. I mean, I did the whole episode only for the advertising of the tour dates. Honestly, because these days it's so important that we advertise the live music, and this counts for all of the guys watching too. Use whatever you can, get the people in the clubs, because music, this is what you are doing, also, is king, and we have to support this idea. So November 13, this is in a couple of days, in a week or so. I'm starting in Tönis Forst, this is near Düsseldorf, Falkos Butze. Then Zülpich Live Proberaum, I played there many times. Fantastic venue on November the 14th. Zülpich is near Cologne, and Live Proberaum, Marco Mendoza played there, the Yellow Jackets, and it's a high class venue with a killer sound. The guys who run the place, they have a big heart. And then Dortmund Blue Notes on the November 15, which is a traditional great club. Greven on November 16, Beat Club Keller. Maybe I have been there, maybe not. Then on November 17, it's Bad Bevensen, North Germany. This is another thing, North Germany. Bad Bevensen. Bevensen. Werner. Egal. Anyway, so this is the North German, and the place is called Vakuum. So it will draw the people into the vacuum. The day after, we are at Andreas Kloppmann's place. The guy who does pickups for my guitars and good friend, and in Bremen. So that's November 18. I think that's a Monday. This is why we are at this place. 19, we are in Bielefeld in the jazz club, but we don't play jazz. But I've been there many times. It's a nice venue. Wetzlar Francis. Wetzlar is, where is it? Marburg, maybe. Some in the middle of Hessen. Abame. Yeah, have you ever heard Die Hesse komme? I don't know. Okay, you haven't heard it, because that's Rottgau Monotones, and Ali Neander has done the rapping part in this song. Everybody in Germany knows that, and it's a Frankfurt accent, and it's like, was machst du mit deinem Plattenspieler? Kaputt. Ne? Und was hast du mit dem Krabber da? Der Papa hat einen Krabber in der Tasche. Ne? So this is Ali, killer guitar player, and of course a great rapper. So the day after is Eppstein. It's also a venue that I love because it's so small, and we have sold it out last year with the Rock Anarchy twice, because we can simply stay overnight, play the next gig, the same thing, leave everything on stage and come back. Good food, good venue, good vibe. And then the day after is Freudenburg, which is close to where we are here, Duxal. And then we go for Bottnang, Stuttgart. The Stuttgart accent is also so nice. When I get a phone call from the lady that books the places, und Astrid, guten Tag, Herr Blug, kommen Sie, wollen Sie auch 4 Zimmer haben? Totally authentic, very nice people, very nice venue. Bottnang, Stuttgart, Bottnang. Then Fürth, Kofferfabrik, it's a classic. Rimsting, we played there last year. Dorsten, Vinyl Café, Vinyl Café, Schwarzes Gold. This is the Ruhrgebiet. This is where the tough guys go. You know, the coal and steel industry of Germany. And people there, they talk really rough. It's like, hey, Blugi, du alte Presswurst, mach dich mal lauter, ich höre nichts von dir. Which means like, you can't even translate, you know, it's like, they call me Blugi and then they go, it's like, you old pressed sausage, turn up your amp, I can't hear you. And it's a nice compliment. Anyway, then we are in Hamm, Hoppengarten, Hamm. I think Hamm is the hometown of Viktor Smolsky. Maybe, maybe not. I think so. Wetter. Wetter is like a place that is called Wetter. It's like the weather, but it's actually a town in the Ruhrgebiet again. Earth Music Club. And then Zierenberg Treibhaus on November 30th. And this is the Blug Engelien tour. And then I have Rock Anarchy gigs in Karlsruhe in the NCO Club. NCO was American Military Soldiers Club. So long history there, and so on and so forth. Go to the website, watch all the tour dates, come and see us at tours, come and see people in Switzerland making music, Marcel. Yeah, so whenever you have a gig, come and check it out. And if there is a... I see the comments here, oh fuck, in the chat. It's about the holes in the cheese, and he had Bio-Leistungskurs. Let me translate, because that's important. When I was at school, our school system here is you have like elementary school, and then there's like a high school before you go to university. And in my times, we had to choose like our Leistungskurs, which are the most important courses you take. And of course, I was stupid. I took everything that I was interested in, which was English, music, and physics. Okay, but I wasn't clever, because if you go on a school for the Leistungskurs and have physics, you have to calculate a lot, because at the beginning physics is nice to understand. I was dreaming about die schiefe Ebene and the simple formula with like 3 components, Uri, U, and you know, and simple stuff. But then in the Leistungskurs, it was nearly killing me and my career as a student. So, and the other thing about music was, again, another thing, I thought this is cool, but I ended up with only female violin players and one real good piano player. The piano player became a professional concert piano player. Thomas Betz, killer guy. I mean, he plays Ramani, whatever. Don't ask me, but he knows the shit. Nice guy. And the girls, they could play the violin because, you know, as kids they learned. And I should read stuff, and it's like I'm self-taught. I read like shit, and I don't know how I survived. I finished school, I got through it, but I should better have chosen, you know, a few Leistungskurse with easier topics. Anyway, so this was my comment on the German school system with the Leistungskurse. Not everything that you are interested is a good choice. But now I know that I never needed a school. The only time I needed a school is to impress people, say, I have Abitur. And of course it was the worst number, the worst you can get. I mean, not the Abitur with a 1, like you are spot on. It's like the last number that, come on, this guy still has Abitur. So but anyway, I've done it. I pleased my parents, and I can say I have Abitur. I'm kind of almost university material, almost. But yeah, I've seen the university a lot from inside when I was a kid with my father, because he worked there. But boring place. People only. No, anyway. That's another story. I tell you my childhood stories next time. So anyway, yeah, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you,
And
Thomas.
thank you for coming all the way from Switzerland by train with a travel rig. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's why it's so compact, and
yeah.
I see Paco. Thank you, Paco, and thanks
Paco is in
for
the chat. Yeah.
making my board.
The
You're the man.
Yeah, you are the man.
Thanks, Paco.
Okay.
And yeah.
Perfect. So to finish this episode, there is another video with Tommy Z, the guy that has the tasteful blues notes. And anyway, if you have the chance, I mean, we are talking, I think it's upstate New York, close to the Canadian border. Watch it. Watch him play. He is good. And watch my little interview with Tommy. And what is next week? Next week I'm in a different studio. I see HP 42, Henning Pauli, a very controversial YouTuber. The guy that has always dresses that are very loud. I'm talking about orange and you don't know. But behind the scenes, this guy is a very smart guy that knows a lot. And I also have another guitar teacher, Bernd Kills, and I'm working there. So I thought I used the setting and the two guys to discuss where the tone comes from. Is it gear? Is it fingers? And we will discuss a lot of things behind the scenes. So it's not worked out yet. It will be also spontaneous, but you can see me in a different studio with different people. Well, let's check it out. Okay, Marcel, thanks for joining in. Now it's Tommy Z, and see you guys next week. Cheers. Grüezi.
Ladies and gentlemen, big pleasure and honor to talk to Tommy Z again. Yeah, we had an episode where we talked a little bit about what you have been doing. Well, just to sum it up briefly, maybe you can do it. I know that you are a killer blues player, and you make me so proud when you play the amp1. It sounds just as good as I can dream about. It's like Stevie Ray Vaughan in the best days with having 5 amps running at the same time, and this is how you sound.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's one of the nicest compliments that I could have is as somebody that's created something so special as you, to say, wow, I really love how you make my amp sound. And that's a great compliment to me. And I'm really glad to represent your amp. It's I use it every night, and I unfortunately, I've got a 53 Tweed Deluxe over there. I've got a Tweed Pro 1953, 68 Deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a real 1964 Fender Vibroverb like Stevie used right over there next to a Twin and a Super, and I've got all kinds of stuff down here. And the reason I'm going into that is not to brag, but to say that I haven't turned them on
Yeah, and I mean,
since I found amp one.
yeah,
And some people might think
wow,
that's a shame. But it's really you know, a fact. I've been such a fan, and I've turned some friends onto it as well. Um, it's really made my life easier, and also some really ergonomic ways.
hmm
It's helped me because I have you know, even for all my pictures with my arms shirtless, you know, sleeveless shirts and stuff like that, you know, I'm a bigger guy and I exercise, but I've had issues with hernias and hernia surgeries. I don't want to be carrying around, you know, a twin reverb doing the 80-pound one-arm you know, deadlift after
mm
playing, you know, a
mm,
festival or even like a 3 or 4 hour gig. So I know there's backline, and then the big guys, like you're saying, they have people to carry it for them.
mm,
But I have this wonderful, you know, amp that's like a kilogram, and I have a little cabinet that you can lift. Anybody can lift with one hand, and I
yeah,
go in there, and I almost always get compliments
yeah,
from listeners and the band and people online. What are you using? So anyway, you know, just getting back to what I've been doing. I mean,
yeah,
uh, I've been using the Amp One. I used it on a big festival stage, just about a little over a month and a couple of weeks ago, at a very big festival. It was voted the #1 blues festival in the country 5 years ago, called the Chenango. And I was up there with Freddie King's brother, Benny
wow,
Turner.
mm-hmm,
He's a bass player,
mm-hmm,
and we did a festival set over there, and they had all this backline there. They had twins and bassmans, and I brought up my amp one and a 112 cabinet, and you know, I'm using the blue box, and you know, the sound tech comes over and he wants to put a microphone on my amp, and I said no, just use the direct in with the
yeah,
XLR, and of course I start to get these looks like this, and then I never get them again after they hear it. It's just it sells itself, Thomas.
yeah. I mean, I'm glad that you bring up that you have actually an amp collection that is serious. I mean, people uh, that I know that are not knowing what a real deal Fender or Marshall or whatever classic amp sounds like, they can make some judgments on amps based on what? Because for me, I have my amp
Right.
collection over here. The Fenders are next door because my '57 Tweed Deluxe, and there's my. You see a little tiny thing of the. Wait a minute, I can flip this around.
In the
There's my
corner,
Super
yeah. Oh,
Reverb, yeah, and the
yeah.
Bassman. They are here in the room. Um, and there is there's a twin, and there's um, a Princeton. So I do have a few Fenders as well, but you are more the Fender guy, like myself. But I think it's so important to know what a real deal is. For me, it's a reference, and I'm striving for the best. And the better my references are, the higher my goal is. And even if I wouldn't match it 100%, if I only go 98%, but if it's the best reference in the world, it's probably better than some of the holy grail amps that are just not the one that is magic. So um, I'm all in
Yeah,
for the best amps and guitars.
well, yeah, thanks, and you're right. I mean, we do have that point of reference having the real thing, but I would also add that it's not just the sound that makes your amplifier so special. It's the feel.
Mm,
I've got in addition to these classic Fenders, I've got a Kemper. I've used the
mm,
Line 6 Pod. I've
mm,
used the Yamaha DG80, uh,
mm.
the plugins, the aux box. You know,
Yeah,
I have gone through the evolution, you know, ever since the pod came out and these
right.
plugins. And yes, you can get some really great, authentic sounding things.
Sounds. Yeah.
But you have the thing that has eluded all of them for me, which is
Mm,
the feel. Because
mm,
I can plug into that and I don't want for anything. I don't feel like it sounds great, but that was always the case with every other situation. It sounds great, but I don't have that with amp one. You know, if I want to get feedback, I can turn around and get feedback. It feels like a real amp, and it's so consistent. It's just undeniable for me.
Cool. So, what have you been playing lately? I mean, here in Germany, we had the summer season with outdoor festivals. You know, there's like we call it street fests. Then there's of course some open airs, small ones, bigger ones, and now this kind of season is over. It's getting a little colder outside. Maybe the rain is not there yet, but it might come. So it now is the club season. I'm looking into my tour dates for the end of the year, and this is all indoor clubs. Of course, this year I'm heavily booked
Yeah,
with a new album.
I just played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just played a blues festival indoor in Canada, up in Ontario, called the Canal Bank Blues Shuffle, and they had some great artists on the bill, and it was indoors. Used amp one again, and the sound man was like, "I'm not sure about plugging into the XLR, but never mind that." You know, I don't mind this type of year because when it rains, that means that the creeks and the tributaries around here start to fill up with water, and in come the salmon and the trout, so I can go do my fishing.
Nice. I
So
love
that's
fish.
what I do here in the fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you ever come and you want to go fishing, let me know. But you know, getting back to the music thing, just you know, I do the usual. I'll do the festivals and the occasional tours, whether it's abroad or in the United States. But as far as touring, you know, your brains out and being on the road all week, you know, and most of the year, I'm not in that particular mode at the
Oh,
moment.
okay.
I'm working on some original music, but I've also got a live album that I used Amp One on that's going to be historic. And I'd love to be more forthcoming with the information on that, but I think it's just going to be worth waiting for when that comes
Okay.
out. And I'm thinking about doing the release tour sometime in January. I'm going to be doing a tour down in Florida in the United States with my band, and really looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, Florida, I've been there on a vacation. Florida seems to have always nice weather, except for the storm season, like when they have the hurricane. Uh, that's the
That just hurt
dangerous
me.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, my keyboard player lives down there. My bass
Yeah.
player, these are my touring guys. He lives down in Charleston, so this is like, you know, from 9, 10 hours away all the way down to Florida, which is more like, you know, 15, 16 hours away
hmm
if you're really pushing it on the road. But the my keyboard player was supposed to come up here for the last 2 weeks of festival shows and gigs that I was doing up here in the upstate New York region, and he was precluded from coming up, so I had to do everything three-piece. But
hmm
again, that's where Amp One shines because now I have the flexibility. You know, I don't
hmm
have to have a variety of amps in a three-piece to have a
hmm
Marshall, a JTM Marshall, to have, you know,
Yeah.
my you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So again, the Amp One really helps out my life.
hmm Is there anything in the US for concerts around Christmas? I mean, me personally, I found that I started a tradition of playing after Christmas, like the second day after Christmas. You know, like on the 24th, Christmas Eve here in Germany, it's family time, definitely. So,
Yeah.
and the first day, it's again more family time than anything else because you kind of visit your relatives that you can't meet on uh, Christmas Eve. But then
Yeah, we
there's the second.
celebrate. Yeah, go ahead. We celebrate Thanksgiving. I don't know about what
Not
you do in
so.
Germany. I
No,
mean,
no,
because
no.
we're celebrating the, you know, the Mayflower
Yeah.
coming here and establishing the first colony, and the camaraderie that was developed between the Native Americans here and
hmm
you know, the settlers, and so the turkey is a popular bird for food.
Sure.
You know, corn on the cob, just you know, very seasonal foods, and that starts the craziness of the of the shopping season. Um,
Ah,
between Thanksgiving and Christmas,
Christmas. Yeah.
it's like, woo, man.
Yeah, I see. For us, we have the Christmas days, and I found out that like the second day after Christmas or the rest of that week, people really enjoy going to concerts. So that's something that I found out by accident, actually. I've done it once, and then I saw, man, this club is full. So everybody was happy to go out and meet people because
Right.
people are not working and see people in a club in a warm environment, meet with friends and share their time together, but with music and maybe even with blues and rock music. And
Yeah, and especially during the holidays, but after Christmas, the you know, attendance seems to drop. I am going to be kicking off of the first show at a new nightclub here. It's called the Kaz, and it's something you might want to look into, or any of the artists that are coming through touring. It's a new venue that it's beautiful, and they have, you know, it's a historic building. It's an old bank,
Mhm,
but it's beautiful, and so it's going to have cabaret style seating, dinner,
mhm,
and you know, ticketing for the shows. You cannot buy them on the day of the show. You have to buy the tickets in advance, December
mhm,
14th, and they're going to
mhm.
be able to videotape and audio record the whole performance on this in this beautiful nightclub. So it's, I wouldn't mention it if it was just another, you know, another gig or a club date,
Okay,
but this place
but
is a
it's special.
pretty special.
Yeah.
So
That's good to hear that these days there are still special places. I mean, we know that a lot of places close, but I'm happy for every, special place that keeps that stays alive or even gets new attention. So,
yeah,
that's what I try to help to promote live concerts of any artist, basically, because we all are in the same kind of family. And
right.
I mean, there's the music lovers, and times are not so easy. And I kind of enjoy that, like what we are doing right now, we can internationally talk about things that are going on and maybe support each other in a way. Yes.
Absolutely. Totally support each other. In fact, you had talked about maybe you were going to be coming up this way in the US and doing some touring. I played this other venue. It's called the Sportsman's Tavern. I have a monthly residency there, and it's another venue like this Kaz I was telling you about. It's beautiful, but it's got more of a Americana, down home-ish um, kind of
Vibe.
vibe, but
Yeah.
still in-house sound, staging, lights, and you know,
Mhm.
the broadcast system and everything. So if you want to come and maybe do a gig with me sometime, but I think you should look into Florida, Thomas, because they
Mhm.
love their classic rock and great rock and guitar players and stuff like that. I mean, you play a lot of different things. I see you
Yeah.
playing country and
Mhm.
jazz and blues and stuff like that. But I would think that most
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
know you for being the Strat King of Europe. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Florida is a place you should be doing some gigs.
Yeah. Um, hey, besides all your live shows, you also have your blues radio.
Yes, I
Um,
do.
what was it? WBLC?
WBLZ, yeah, that would be
Z.
Z for those of you
Z. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
Canadian or German. But yeah, WBLZ, it's Blizzard of Blues Radio. You can listen in free 24/7 at WBLZ.org, org,
Mhm.
and it's free. And I've got just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tracks uploaded there by the greatest classic and contemporary blues artists, and it's just running around the clock.
Mhm.
I need a station ID. I should get a station ID from Thomas Blug. You're listening to WBLZ.
Okay, well, we should fix that then before Christmas.
Is that what's going in my stocking?
Well, you are listening to.
Are we in sync?
Almost. I mean, the latency over the internet is kind of weird, but it's good enough for blues. Hey, I love it. And by the way, Red House. So you after the you go up to D, because I played the Red House, and some guys didn't know about that form that Jimmy used, at least in the version that I played. But
where he modulates up to D.
yeah.
Okay.
At least that's how I usually play it, because that's maybe the one version where he did that. And I mean, Jimi Hendrix was so great. He did every version has something special, because it's like different feel all the time, slightly different grooves, and yeah, unbelievable.
He was incredible, man.
Yeah.
One of a kind. You got any cool little mini fuzz boxes that you like? I'm looking for a great mini fuzz.
I do have the Dunlop, my Hendrix board. I do have a Hendrix board that is somewhere next door. And the fuzz phases, I mean, I'm talking about this one. I mean, you see how big this is.
Yeah. No, I'm looking for the ones that are just like the little square
ones.
Yeah. I'll find something.
Yeah, if somebody watches this, put it in the comments, because we want to learn from the internet intelligence. Tell us which is your favorite mini pedal.
Be careful what you wish for.
You get too many replies. Yeah. Okay, Tommy. Hey, it's been a big pleasure talking to you. And
right on.
Yeah, if your album is ready, yeah, we have to do a special on that one, because to me, you are such a special guy. You're playing your tone, everything is killing me every time. I'm checking you out on social media, when I follow all the posts, and every time I see a post of you, it is spot on taste, tone, and chops.
Thank you, Thomas.
It is not chops in the way of he shows off because he can. No, it's chops when it's on fire, when the music is on fire.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's just how I do it, and I appreciate someone that can recognize it and say so. Thanks so much.
Yeah. My pleasure. When people want to check you out, where you are gigging, where you are playing, what is the address of Facebook or website? What's the best source of information?
Yeah, you can do the social media thing. Guitar Tommy Z. That's Instagram and X or Twitter. Just regular Tommy Z on Facebook, and then TommyZBand.com is where you'll have my tour dates and stuff like that coming up.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Tommy, and talk soon.
You're welcome, my brother.
Okay, cheers. Bye.